Well, we're talking more about mental health and awareness. In fact, of course, it's the time of year especially that's important to talk about this and bring it to the light of everyone. And so many people are touched. Karl Staniford's with us. You might remember him from a little kayaking adventure around the Isle of Man. Okay, let me just get this quite right. You haven't been in a kayak. I mean, you haven't been doing it for years. You took it up fairly recently, and then you decided to do this round the island kayaking. I mean, that's not easy, right? I mean, that's a long way, and also you got weather to worry about and all sorts of things. So, should we start with that, and we'll explain why you did it in just a second. But as we do it, we've got some great pictures of the drone shots here of you heading off first of all. But why did you do it?
So first started off, first sat in a kayak properly in July, and a company called Sea Kayaking Isle of Man, they took me under their wing. They showed me the ropes with the kayak, and I'm still going out with them now and again. And they're experts. Did a lot of training with them. George also gave me some sort of rowing machine challenges, which were really helpful, getting you used to feeling uncomfortable for that long journey, the lap around the island. And we managed to do it over a course of 2 days. And George, again, Sea Kayaking Isle of Man, he's the expert. He picked the perfect weather sort of gap in April. He said that's when you get the best sort of window. And then, we just went for it.
How tough was it for you, though? I mean, you've done a bit of this, obviously, to get ready for it. Don't tell me just turn up and...
there was a
lot of exercise and practice.
Yeah, there was a lot of preparation and a lot of... sort of going out in really rough conditions to get used to bouncy conditions, because if you panic when you're in a kayak in them conditions, you're in the water and then that just saps your energy just trying to get back into the boat. So we went out in a lot of sort of rough tide racial conditions, and he set us the rowing machine challenges, we were rowing marathons and stuff like that. But
the bigger, yes. Well, top body, isn't it? I suppose. Really,
Well, surprisingly, there is a little bit that goes on with the legs, because it's your biggest muscle in your body, and you sort of paddle your feet as you're paddling for a bit of extra power.
Did you come out? Did you fall out?
No. There was a hairy section on the start of the second day at Douglas Head. It was really bouncy, and you have to keep sort of adjusting the nose of your boat to keep it straight, because the waves come in, they bounce off the wall, and they just keep nudging at 10 degrees or so you have to just keep relaxed and keep readjusting your boat, but managed to stay in, and we made it round. And
you raised some money. This is where we're coming to the bit now. How much did you make on this thing?
So we're at £13,000.
Wow.
And that's with cash, and my boss, my employer Dan Dora, he donated £1,000 as well. So, and I've kept that link open purposely for this interview in case anyone does want to.
Well, we'll put it on the screen now. Okay, that's the fun sort of part of this. But this is you had a very serious motive for doing this, and I know you don't mind talking about it, but I mean, it's still incredibly painful, I'm sure, to talk about your brother. So, please tell us the story.
So he took his own life. He was only 20. He was the life and soul of the party. Always wore a huge smile. And it was just a shock for all of us when he took his own life. I managed to have one last blowout with him at TT week, and then just a few hours later he decided to do it.
So sorry, you hadn't done it before. I think it was a shock in that sense, or was it something?
It was a complete shock. He did have a couple of issues sort of growing up, nothing too major, but it was almost like he turned a corner. But it was obviously just masking it. But it was such a shock, just because he was really good on the guitar. He did open mic nights and stuff like that, and he wrote some fantastic songs himself. One called "Float Away," which is where I got the inspiration to do this sort of lap. And that song, the lyrics in that song actually talk about him having a troubled mind, and how simple tasks in life become difficult when you're in that sort of headspace, and not to buy into it and go to the clouds, float away. It's a fantastic song, and I wanted to do something that sort of resonates with his music, because that's what he's sort of left us. And the kayaking was what we chose to do.
I mean, suicide on the Isle of Man, I've heard it's high, but the government says it's about where it should be, but they take a different idea on how they count it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it appears to be a problem here.
Yeah, and it's only when something like this, you experience something like this and you start to talk to people about it, that you realise how bad the situation is, and it is horrendous. Yeah, the government take, I think the last figures I heard was there was 22 suicides. I think that was last year, but they take an average over 3 years, so there can be spikes.
And with lockdown, who knows how people's mental health has been affected. Everyone's been affected to some degree, I'm guessing. Yeah,
I think so, and I think that's why I got such a good amount of support, because we were coming towards the end of a lockdown, and maybe a few people were feeling it, and just, I think it was good timing in terms of that, just to get them a bit of a message and awareness out there.
I mean, we covered this in the past about people needing to talk about it, to talk to somebody about it. Samaritans might be, it could be another mental health charity, and by doing this, I suppose it's just raising awareness to help other people. Yeah,
that's it. Getting some awareness out there, and the charities I'm raising the money for have been selected because they do just that. They're very proactive. They go out to schools and they provide early intervention awareness training to pupils at school, which is something I strongly believe in. I think that's definitely the way to go. And Quing and I Listen, they're doing the school work, and there's another charity, Cruise Bereavement. They help my kids and us through the situation with Cam. They helped us sort of choose the right words to explain the situation to our kids, which is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life, to tell them about their uncle. And I can't thank them enough. Joni Farragher, she's a fantastic woman, and she's actually running for East MHK, and she'll be getting my vote. I don't usually vote, I'll be honest, but just if we can get someone like Joni into politics, it's definitely the way to go for me, because she helps people through that pain and suffering, and there's no doubt in my mind she will do everything she can in her power to help things go in the right direction.
Can there ever be closure, or it's almost impossible, I just imagine, isn't it?
I think there's never closure, is there? It's just a constant
living
sort
with
of
it, dealing with it.
Yeah, time is sort of doesn't really heal it. You just have to learn to live with it. Yeah, and but doing stuff like this, I think is a positive sort of flip on it, and we can get a lot out of it.
So what's next for you then? You're going to do something else more outrageous?
Well,
raise more funds?
I don't know yet. We'll see what happens, but I want to start a campaign for positive change within the education system. So I've been speaking to people, spoke to Sue Mole from sports, culture and education. I've told her about these breathing techniques, certain breathing techniques that can reverse stress symptoms, and they're backed by research, and they're used by elite military forces such as the SAS and the Navy SEALs. So they work, and because stress is subjective, we can borrow those techniques, because what's stressful for me might not be stressful for you, and vice versa. We can borrow those techniques to deal with stress and identify triggers. And we talked there about how we need to talk about problems and stuff to get it off our chest. These breathwork techniques are really good at improving.
And you've tried them yourself, have you?
Oh yeah, I've been.
Anyone can have a go to feel better.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with these for a while now, and just second to none, and just providing that calm platform in order to, say what you need to say. At the end of the day, I now see stress as it's just an obstacle on where you want to go. So if you can remove a certain percentage of that And it's only very little at the beginning, but you commit to the practices, and you can face challenges, and you can do what you need to do without that distraction of stress. And it is empowering to put these to the test and experiment.
And always say if that person's watching this that's in that situation, there is help out there. Just finding the right help is key, I suppose.
Yeah. If we're not dealing with stress as it occurs, there's always an element of communication that we need to go through to unravel that pain. We just need to reach out, not worry about too much about self-image and what people think of us, because that's why we're in this mess. People worry too much about damaging their image or what people think of them, and it's not about that. It's about the internal stuff, feeling good and comfortable in yourself.
Well-being.
Internal well-being, 100%,